on one of the most monumental TV shows to ever exist, Scandal, Season 5, Episode 21, at 23 minutes and 2 seconds. Huck is telling Olivia that in order for her to save Jake from her father, from his operations with B613 and trying to have his hand in the White House, Olivia has to walk in the front door, lights on, like a gangster. Welcome to the Nelly Drayton Show. Listen, this is something I've been wanting to touch on for a very long time. Life keeps happening, and you know how that is. If you know what I'm talking about, it's because you know what life be doing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, because you have yet to truly experience what life be doing. It be doing a lot. Honestly, Scandal is one of those shows that I've had to rewatch so many times because there were so many points that I could relate to in the show that I never realized before, or the first 3 times that I watched it. Now, this 12th time that I've rewatched it, shout out to Shonda Rhimes with Shonda Land. She has created a TV show that surpasses time. I don't even remember when the show came out. I just keep rewatching it as if it just came out. When I watch it, I feel as if I am right there experiencing everything. I'm sitting at the table with them. They get all their faces and they start breaking down the clients and what's done and what it is and what it isn't. And they're just putting all these. Sometimes I feel like I'm right there trying to help them come to a conclusion with the cases that they're currently working on. I want to touch on what Huck said because it's so relatable. It's so connected to so many things in this world when you really think about it. Yes, I'm on my ball. In all of my years of living and breathing on this ghetto floating rock, there is one thing that I have noticed within my experiences with humans on this earth. Sometimes you got to walk in straight in the front door, lights on, like a gangster. How did I not see that the first 12 times I watched it? Why? Why am I just now realizing that that is literally life? Everything that you do, whether you are applying to a new job, whether you are changing career paths, whether you are entering a relationship, whether you are entering a new friendship, whether you are entering a new environment that requires you to show exactly why you're meant to be in this room, whatever the case may be that applies to you and you directly, you got to walk in with the lights on through the front door like a gangster. You don't understand. It just smacked me. I'm sitting here watching Scandal for the 12,000th time and it hit me and I had to write that bad boy down. You know I love me and my sticky notes. I had to write it down. And Huck said you got to walk in the front door, no sneaking around the back, lights on. And she said, that's crazy. He said, like a gangster. Ooh, drops the mic. In the other hand. Honestly, it's connections like that that makes me want to continue to write because in reality, that is life. When you are going through something and it feels like a crisis, it feels like you're all out of whack. It feels like there's no way to get around it. It's just, I don't even know how to approach the situation. How do I handle this? How do I get through this? You go through the front door, lights on, like a gangster. You can use that for everything in your life. And that is why Scandal is one of the most monumental shows to exist in the world. You can't convince me otherwise because you can take any episode, pull it apart and relate these lines to yourself. Everything that you're dealing with, you need to walk through the front door, turn the lights on and get in there like a gangster. This really affected me more than I thought mentally because I am not always this big in energy. Sometimes I am a very timid, silent, hurt little girl, right? My inner child, she comes out and she's like, this is not fair. You people are mean and you don't care about my feelings and you're just trying to lead me into a false sense of security and I don't like you and you're a liar and I can't trust you with nothing. And then I gotta remember that I'm a grown woman, like baby Janelle. Don't worry about it no more. Sit down, go play in the corner, okay? I'm about to walk in like a gangster. Go play with the toys. Let me handle it from here. Literally, that's the attitude that you have to have in this world. This world is crazy. And God forbid you're a woman. Whew. This world is just chaotic. Everything that people do nowadays don't ever make sense. And I'm just speaking on a very wide spectrum of life. You could be walking down the street and you trip and someone recorded you. Now you famous on TikTok. I mean, that's really not the biggest issue, honestly. That's like the bare minimum of issues when you really think about it. But my point is this world is chaotic. It just is. There's no real order or decency to anything. You are literally trying to figure out your life every single day by doing the basic things. right? Working, breathing, eating. And then you're thinking to yourself, is this it? Sometimes you really have to take life by the horns and just break its neck. What? You really and truly have to tell yourself that you gotta walk in rooms like you're meant to be there. That's really the point of this video. I am known for self-sabotage. The thing that I struggle with the most is imposter syndrome. I think to myself, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. I don't work hard. I don't sit and actually think and write and do the things that I tell people to do. In all actuality, I do it times 12. I literally have books in my bed, laying next to me as I sleep at night. And I'm sitting here telling everybody and anybody, read a book. Read a book, and when you're done writing, read the book, and when you're done reading, read the book, and then write it and read the book. And then when things work out for me, or when things start to really click for me mentally, I'm like, nah, I might be overthinking it. I really probably should just take a seat, because it's not like I belong in this current phase of my life. It doesn't feel right to know that I'm somewhat close to a path that I've worked so hard to work towards to begin with. Absolutely no way that I worked this hard to tighten up, and when it comes to devoting myself to becoming a better version of myself, right? I'm not gonna reap anything from that, right? Because I don't really work that hard. Imposter syndrome. It's terrible. And I have to remind myself, I work really hard. Why do I keep telling myself that I don't? I'm actually a very smart person. And then I have to remind myself that I am. Sometimes I gotta walk in the four corners of my mind through the front door with the lights on, like a gangster. It's really very simple. When you feel like you don't belong, really think about where you used to be compared to where you are now, even if it's a tiny step that you took. You know, starting this YouTube channel honestly made me realize that I really did walk in through the front door like a gangster, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But that is another conversation for another day. Regardless of which, again, welcome to the Nelly Drayton Show. I'm Nelly Drayton, and I'm about to walk through this front door like a gangster.